All right, welcome to this new moon Sidereal Astrology report. This is for the 12th of October. My name is Athen. So a new moon in Virgo. This is not a new energy, actually. We've already had the Mercury retrograde over Virgo. We've had a lot of this energy from the last lunar eclipse in Pisces, opposite, with the sun here, and then Mercury transiting this location as well. But there is new beginnings shaping up now in regards to our self-improvement, our refinement, the daily spheres. Virgo is essentially about refining ourselves, refining the different areas of our life, and perhaps more specifically, our craft in terms of what we're here to develop in this life, both on a personal level, but also in terms of our service work as well. So new beginnings there. It is a lowering of energy time with the new moon. The energies are a little bit on the introverted level. As the week unfolds, that will become more extroverted. And the energy levels, I think, will continue to build as well. So it's still a time of reflection. I feel like experimenting, trying new things, and just sitting with the energy right now is a great way to work with this. And again, it's more of that analytical, earthy, very grounded energy. So this is in contrast to where we had the last lunar eclipse, which was Pisces, and that was much more about trust, faith, and surrender. And in fact, that energy is going to be playing a very important role with this, since this new moon is going to be opposing up to Uranus, who is still squaring up to Pluto. So the new moon is forming a T-square here, and this is about spiritual freedom in terms of when we are going with the flow, when we do have surrender in our life, and we're willing to be guided in the divine process or listening to our inner guidance. All of that is very freeing. And this has been an energy we've been dealing with for many years now, and especially the past few with the square up to Pluto, with all these changes to our life path. All of this change to our outlook, our philosophy, our spiritual outlook on life has been changing. And that's been sort of clashing and squaring with this uncertainty in terms of where we're going. But the constructive energy has been that the more open we are to going with the flow, then it has been we've seen the positive changes with that. And likewise, when we've been open to that change, there has been a lot of uncertainty in the process that could have been quite liberating. So that's how to work with this sort of square energy. And I feel like even though this is already the end of this square, we've already had the last final aspect with that. The new moon here is going to activate that. And I feel like we're all quite familiar with this kind of energy. So in terms of Virgo, it's starting the new grounded approach, the new take on self, the new take on the daily sphere, but at the same time, relaxing into the unknown and being open to change, I feel makes this very constructive. So also reflecting back in terms of Mercury retrograde, Mercury's been, retrograde here in Virgo. So maybe thinking about what we learned, what we've been reworking on, redoing in regards to the daily spheres and self-improvement and health, and all of that starting to move forward is actually good positive energy, at least in terms of information coming to us or insight that we can implement this week. So with this, we do have some other aspects going on this week, one of which involving that Mercury still sextiling up to Saturn. So all of that analytical energy can go a long ways, actually, correspondence, things of that nature. Very supportive with Saturn. I think we're seeing the long road, the long term. So that's very good. And Mercury still over that north node does mean that we can be learning quite a bit about these changes that are happening along our life path, especially over the past few weeks. So with that, as you can see, the sun opposing up to Uranus, that will have went exact last night on Sunday. And this is all part of that new moon. So here it's really expressing ourselves, being ourselves, and tapping into that, that energy of expressing who we are, what we're about, our true self, that true spark, without going to any extremes with it, of course, and keeping both feet firmly on the ground. Jupiter still trining up to Pluto. Very nice, actually. This is all about positive change to the life path in terms of us seeing it. And with Mars getting very close to Jupiter, actually, in Leo, there is a lot of this support. So even though Pluto is squaring up to this new moon, he's got this healthy dose from Jupiter. I think we're seeing the optimism. I think we're seeing the insight, the possibilities that are on the horizon or are unfolding in our lives with all of this change that's been taking place. It's a very nice aspect. This aspect came at a very good time, actually, in the astrology. And I think as Mars gets closer to Jupiter, there is more of this ambition, more of this drive, more of this just motivational energy to be used along change. And I think I think we are open to it. And so it's a great week to change, to get things done, and use that Mars energy towards anything we might be restructuring in our lives. And then as you can see here, the moon is going to be forming these squares and oppositions up to Uranus. The new moon is going to go exact at 20:05 Eastern time, so in the evening time for most of us. And of course, if you're in Oceania or the East, this will be, do watch your previous day's video. So this will be on the 13th. All right, so yeah, that's the gist of it. I think there is support from Jupiter and Pluto, things changing for the positive. I think we're seeing that. I think as long as we're open to seeing those possibilities, then that's a very supportive aspect to this. But the new moon is showing that maybe we can introduce a little bit more of an openness to change, an openness to seeing the importance of non-attachment to how things are changing on the path, as well as having that faith and trust in the process and surrendering into the unknown and into the divine process that is creating a tremendous amount of freedom when we do so. So everyone, I hope you guys have a nice new moon. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.